The world does not play fair. No matter how honest you are, someone will betray you. No matter how skilled you become, someone less qualified will outrank you. That is not pessimism. It is structure. And the people who understand that structure don't complain about it. They use it. Those who understand this reality survive. And those who survive long enough rule. This is a form of power you rarely see, but you always feel. This is dark intelligence. It is born in betrayal, tempered by humiliation, forged through defeat. Where others collapse, you convert pain into precision. It listens more than it speaks. It watches more than it reacts. It waits and strikes only when the outcome is certain. While others argue, you collect information. While they get emotional, you calculate. While they lose control, you design the future. Most people play checkers, reacting to every move with emotion and panic. Today, you learn to think 3 moves ahead. Those who have been betrayed, those who have been overlooked, and those who have felt the sting of humiliation possess a unique raw material. From that pain, you can forge something rare. It is not about being a villain. It is about becoming untouchable. It is the ability to stay silent while others brag, to calculate while others rage, and to strike only when the result is guaranteed. Today, we are stripping away the illusions. I am going to reveal the 8 psychological pillars of dark intelligence, the traits that separate the victims of life from the architects of reality. Before we begin, I need you to commit. If you are ready to stop being emotionally reactive and start being strategically dominant, drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose to be strategically intelligent, not emotionally reactive. Let's descend into the secrets that powerful people do not want you to know. Number 1. The veil of strategic opacity. The moment you are fully understood, you are conquered. Most people have an almost desperate urge to be seen and understood. They broadcast their plans, their fears, and their inner thoughts to anyone who will listen. They think they are building authenticity, but they are actually handing out a roadmap of their vulnerabilities. Strategic opacity is the art of being a locked door. You do not need to lie. You simply do not offer the key. When people only know fragments of your story, their minds work overtime to fill in the gaps. They create a version of you in their heads that is often far more intimidating or intriguing than the truth. Niccolo Machiavelli once noted that everyone sees what you appear to be, but few experience what you really are. This gap between appearance and reality is where your power lives. Think about the most influential people in your circle. They never over-explain. They leave gaps in their narratives. They answer questions with questions. When you are opaque, you control the flow of information. In any conversation, the person who shares the most is usually the one with the least power. Why? Because information is currency. If you spend it all at once, you are bankrupt. Next time someone asks about your plans, resist the urge to give a detailed report. Instead of saying you are staying home to work on your career, say you have a few high-priority items to handle. Then, change the subject. The first answer makes you predictable and small. The second answer makes you a mystery. In the world of dark intelligence, mystery creates curiosity. Curiosity creates interest, and interest eventually leads to respect. You must learn to be comfortable with the silence that follows your short answers. When you refuse to fill the air with useless details, people begin to weigh your words more heavily. They realize that when you do speak, it matters. You are not a book to be read by everyone. You are a vault that requires a combination most people will never have. This isn't about being rude. It is about being intentional. Your private life should stay private. Your next move should stay hidden. The best time to announce your success is after the goal has already been achieved. Until then, stay in the shadows of your own silence. Number 2. The fluidity of the adaptive persona. There is a common myth that you must be the same person at all times to be honest. That is not honesty. that is social rigidity. The most effective individuals in history were social chameleons. Dark intelligence recognizes that every human being has a different psychological frequency. If you speak the language of logic to someone who only understands emotion, you have already lost the connection. Developing an adaptive persona means you treat your personality like a high-end tool set. You are not being fake. You are being effective. Think of yourself like water. Water is soft in a glass, but lethal in a flood. It takes the shape of the vessel it inhabits without ever losing its chemical identity. You are still you, but your expression of yourself changes based on the target. If you are talking to a grandmother, you are respectful and traditional. If you are in a boardroom, you are analytical and decisive. If you are at a high-stakes party, you are charismatic and elusive. This is communication intelligence. People feel a deep sense of comfort when they see themselves reflected in you. By mirroring the values and communication style of the person across from you, you bypass their ego's defenses. You are not forcing them to understand you. You are making it impossible for them not to connect with you. This requires deep observation. You must watch how they move, listen to the words they prioritize, and feel the energy they bring to the room. If they are fast talkers who value efficiency, cut the small talk and get to the point. If they are storytellers who value connection, give them the space to be heard. You are the architect of the interaction. By adapting your persona, you ensure that the message you want to deliver is received without resistance. Never forget that your core values remain the same. Your mask is for the world. Your face is for yourself. Number 3, the power of radical detachment. The person who is most willing to walk away always holds the most power. Most people are slaves to their attachments. They are attached to a specific job, a specific romantic partner, or the desperate need for public approval. When you are afraid to lose something, that thing owns you. It can be used to manipulate you, threaten you, and keep you in line. Fear of loss is the leash that society uses to control the masses. Radical detachment is your ultimate psychological armor. It does not mean you become cold or heartless. It means you become free. Imagine two people negotiating a business deal. Person A desperately needs the money. Person B would like the deal, but they have 3 other options waiting. Who wins? Person B, every single time. Their detachment gives them the clarity to see traps and the strength to hold out for better terms. When you are not emotionally invested in being right, you can see the truth of a situation. When you are not desperate for someone to like you, you can make the hard decisions that actually command respect. The paradox of power is that the less you need something, the more likely it is to flow toward you. Practice this in small ways. Do not be so attached to winning a petty argument. Do not be so attached to a plan going perfectly. The more walk-away power you cultivate, the more dangerous you become to those who try to control you. This also applies to your internal state. If someone insults you and you get angry, they have controlled you. They have moved your needle. If someone praises you and you become arrogant, they have moved your needle again. True detachment means your internal state is governed by your own standards, not the fluctuating opinions of the crowd. You are the mountain. The weather around you may change, but the mountain remains unmoved. Number 4, the weight of silent leverage. Amateurs try to dominate with noise. They yell, they demand, and they try to alpha the room with aggressive posturing. This is a broadcast of insecurity. True power is a whisper. It is the heavy silence that follows a question. Silent leverage is about positioning yourself so that your presence alone changes the dynamic of a room. It is the art of creating influence without saying a word. Instead of demanding respect, you make yourself indispensable. Instead of fighting for power, you make people offer it to you as a solution to their problems. In a negotiation or a confrontation, the strategic pause is your most lethal weapon. Most people are terrified of silence. They feel an itch to fill the void with words. When you ask a question and the other person gives an unsatisfactory answer, do not argue. Just look at them. Maintain eye contact. count to 5 in your head. The silence will act like a vacuum, sucking the truth out of them. They will start talking to ease their own discomfort, and in that rambling they will reveal their weaknesses, their lies, and their real intentions. Let the silence do the work for you. You are not being passive. You are being a predator, waiting for the target to trip over their own feet. Furthermore, silent leverage is built through competence. If you are the only one in the room who knows how to fix a critical problem, you do not need to raise your voice to be heard. Everyone will be looking at you, waiting for your lead. This is the quietest form of power, and it is the most difficult to overcome. Number 5. The mechanism of the psychological echo. Every person you meet is walking around with an invisible void. It is a deep-seated need to be understood, validated, or recognized. The psychological echo is the technique of identifying that void and reflecting it back to them so perfectly that they believe you are their most trusted advisor. Most people listen just so they can wait for their turn to speak. You must listen to decode. You are not looking for facts. You are looking for the subtext. When a coworker complains about a boss, they are not just sharing news. They are revealing a need for autonomy. When a friend brags about a purchase, they are revealing a need for status. Instead of giving advice or sharing your own story, echo their underlying reality. Use phrases like, "It sounds like you feel your expertise isn't being fully utilized," or "It seems like you value loyalty above everything else." The moment they hear those words, their brain releases a flood of trust-building chemicals. They think, "Finally, someone who truly sees me." Once you have established that you get them, you have the psychological key to their front door. They will follow your lead because they trust your perspective. You are not changing your message. You are simply wrapping it in the language they are already speaking in their own heads. People are inherently self-centered. By making them the focus, you become the most interesting person in their world. They will associate their feelings of being understood with your presence. This creates a bond that is incredibly difficult to break. Use it to build alliances, to heal rifts, and to lead people where they need to go. Number 6. The logic of ambiguous morality. The world is not painted in black and white. It is 1,000 shades of gray. People with dark intelligence understand that being nice is often the enemy of being good. Pure moral clarity is a luxury for those who do not have to deal with consequences. In the real world, sometimes the most ethical thing you can do is make a harsh decision. If a team member is toxic and hurting the collective, the nice thing is to give them a 5th chance. The right thing, the dark intelligence thing, is to remove them for the health of the whole. Ambiguous morality is about focusing on the macro outcome rather than the micro feeling. Stop asking if an action makes you look like a good person right now. Start asking if this action leads to the best possible result for the goals that matter. This requires a high level of personal integrity because you must hold yourself to a private standard that the public might not understand. You are willing to be the villain in someone's short-term story if it means winning the long-term war for your family, your business, or your mission. It is about pragmatic ethics. It is about choosing the path that works over the path that looks pretty. Most people are paralyzed by what others think of them. They would rather fail together than succeed alone. If success requires a difficult choice, you cannot afford that weakness. You must be willing to walk into the gray areas of life, to take the responsibility that others shirk, and to do what is necessary. This isn't an excuse for cruelty. It is a requirement for leadership. Number 7. The architecture of controlled exposure. In an age of oversharing and social media transparency, privacy has become a superpower. Every time you post a vulnerability, a rant, or a detailed update about your life, you are leaking power. You are making yourself predictable. And in any game of strategy, predictability is a death sentence. Controlled exposure is about managing your brand with surgical precision. You should be a different puzzle to different people. Reveal your skills slowly. If you show every talent you have in the first week of a new job or relationship, you become a commodity. If you reveal your capabilities gradually over months, you become a constant revelation. This applies to your digital footprint as well. Your online presence should be a curated gallery, not a live stream of your consciousness. By maintaining a level of mystery, you force others to respect your boundaries. They will hesitate to cross you because they are not quite sure what you are truly capable of. Information revealed can never be unrevealed. Once they know your weakness, they cannot unknow it. Err on the side of revealing too little rather than too much. Your silence is your sanctuary. Furthermore, controlled exposure allows you to test the people around you. Share a small, inconsequential secret and see if it travels. If it does, you have identified a leak without losing anything important. Use information as a filter. Only those who have proven their loyalty and their worth get to see the deeper layers of who you are. To everyone else, you remain a polite, professional enigma. Number 8. Outcome obsession and the art of the pivot. This is the cornerstone. The secret of the dark, intelligent mind is the willingness to pivot. Most people fall in love with their plans. They spend weeks crafting a strategy, and when it fails, they stay on the sinking ship because they are embarrassed to admit they were wrong. They are stubborn about their methods. A master of dark intelligence is only stubborn about the result. If the path is blocked, you do not stop. You find a different path. If a tactic is ineffective, you discard it without a second thought. You have no emotional attachment to a failing strategy. Your loyalty is to the finish line, not the map you use to get there. This radical flexibility makes you resilient. While others are mourning their failed plans, you are already halfway through your new approach. The world does not reward effort or good intentions. It rewards results. When you become known as the person who delivers no matter the obstacles, you become a magnet for high-level power. People stop bringing you excuses and start bringing you resources because they know you are an outcome machine. This requires you to kill your ego. Your ego wants to be right. Your outcome obsession wants to be successful. You cannot have both. If new data shows your current project is a dead end, cut it immediately. Do not throw good money after bad. Do not throw good time after bad. The ultimate goal is to become someone who actually produces results in the physical world. Not someone who talks about it. Not someone who looks like they are doing it. Someone who makes it happen. This reputation is the most valuable asset you will ever own. You now hold the blueprints to a different kind of life. These 8 traits are not weapons for destruction. They are the tools of a survivor who refuses to be a victim. But knowledge without application is worthless. If you watch this and do nothing, you remain a pawn. Here is your mission. Do not try to master all 8 at once. Pick just one of these traits that resonated with you the most. For the next 7 days, breathe it, live it. If you chose silent leverage, practice the 5-second pause in every conversation. If you chose controlled exposure, stop yourself from explaining your weekend plans to anyone. If you chose radical detachment, practice letting go of the need to win an argument with a stranger or a friend. Watch how the world shifts around you. Notice how people begin to treat you with a new, unspoken level of respect. Notice how the noise of other people's opinions starts to fade as your own strategic clarity grows. Before we close, we must return to the foundation. This knowledge is a shield. True dark intelligence is about becoming unmanipulatable. It is about navigating a world full of hidden agendas and coming out on top without losing your soul. The goal is not to gain power over others. It is to gain absolute power over yourself and your circumstances. The most dangerous person in the room is the one who has nothing to lose. But the most valuable person in the room is the one who understands human psychology and uses it to create better outcomes for everyone. The world needs more strategically intelligent people who use their knowledge ethically. People who can see through manipulation and protect the innocent. People who can navigate complex situations and find solutions that serve the greater good. That is the true purpose of dark intelligence. Not to become a manipulator, but to become someone who can never be manipulated again. Which kind of person do you choose to be? If this video changed the way you view power and human behavior, show it by hitting the like button. It tells the algorithm that this is the kind of intelligence the world needs. If you want more content about the deep mechanics of psychology, strategy, and human behavior, subscribe and ring the notification bell. Drop a comment below. Which of these 8 traits do you see in the most successful people around you? And more importantly, which one are you going to practice first? Until next time, remember, true intelligence isn't just about being smart. It is about being wise enough to use your mind as a tool for a purpose greater than yourself. Stay strategic, stay ethical, stay powerful.